Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Total D-Bags. I am your head D-Bag, the face of the D-Bag Federation, Richard the Dick Coughlin, here with Kalence.
Yo.
And for my sins, edible napalm.
I thought you were TD bag.
Oh, for fuck's sake, just respond to the... Right, you can't do anything. I bet you fold paper crooked. Right, you can't do... Right, okay, fuck it. Today we're going to be doing another top three. We were supposed to do this in January, but fuck it. We couldn't be asked. So we're going to crap on with this one. This month we're going to be looking at the top three promos. Top three worst and top three best promos in wrestling. And there's plenty to choose from. We're going to be doing top three best promos for this one, and unless there's any objections, I would like to go first. Would that be okay? I'm going to do my top three promos now. Now, my top three promos come from these are more from the more recent years in wrestling, because whenever we pick these things, I'm going to try and pick my best top three from a more recent time, and my worst from an older time, because I get sick and tired of spoilt modern-day wrestling fans who have only been into it for the last few years and have been spoilt by the amount of wrestling they get, banging on about how it was so great in the old days, and it's crap nowadays. So fuck them. I'm going to sort of go against the grain here. So I put my first one in my top three best promos that I've seen. The first one would be last year, I believe it was last year, Mark Henry's retirement speech in the ring with John Cena. And but apart from anything else, this was an example. Mark Henry really gets on my nerves because he was crap for so many years when he was sexual chocolate, and he was just this big black guy in the Nation of Domination. And it's amazing to think. Actually, an interesting thing when I read Mick Foley's book, he talked about Mark Henry. Vince McMahon actually has a bit of a hard-on for Mark Henry, and Mark Henry was actually at the time before Stone Cold was becoming really popular. Mark Henry was the guy who Vince McMahon was looking to turn into the next sort of big name in wrestling, and we all know how that turned out. But I think most people would agree that was and the reason I picked his retirement speech is because there's very few moments nowadays, thanks to the internet. There's so few moments nowadays when you actually genuinely get fooled or shocked by anyone or anything that happens, because you generally know in advance whether someone's coming back or whether someone's going to be coming in and doing making a return or something like that. And this was an example of everyone bought it. All the rumours were that Mark Henry's retiring. He comes out in that salmon pink top that only a bloke of his size and blackness could get away with. And he comes out and he genuinely was crying, and everyone was sort of clapping, and he just sold it perfectly. And for 15 minutes you sat there and swallowed the whole thing. And then he just slams John Cena, and you bought it. And even though Mark Henry is, still not that great in the ring, he kind of he did have some quite all right matches with Cena.
Actually, I agree. I mean,
I don't remember that particular thing. I
Thank you,
no
Matt.
comment.
Now, please be quiet.
I will be.
Okay.
Matt and I were watching Survivor Series '99 like last night, and
Oh God,
it was adequate. But we saw Mark Henry, and he was moving around in the ring, and it was like, wow, he was actually pretty decent back then.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that he was never.
Oh my God, he fucking, who did he? It was one of the Greens. It was one of the Mean Street Posse. Fucking.
Well, no, did you remember? It's amazing to think that when you look at him, it was 90, wasn't it? I think 95 or 96. I think he started. So he's been going nearly like 18 years.
I think.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go on to my next one. My next one is going to be this was one of. To be honest, in the run-up to this match, I think there were so many promos I could have picked, but this is in the run-up to the CM Punk versus John Cena at the Money in the Bank in 2011, when CM Punk was, in quotation marks, leaving the company. everyone was really scared that he was going to
Just like
with
now?
the title "My Arse." No, because now he's genuinely left the company. Now he's genuinely left the company. Back then, it was like no. This whole idea that they still play it as if they didn't know whether he was going to come back. Like Vince McMahon is going to give the title away to someone who's leaving and who hasn't signed with him. Like he's going to make that fucking mistake. Again, it's just not going to happen. I mean, this is a guy, look at what he did to Bret Hart when he just was scared Bret Hart might fucking run away with the fucking belt. He's not going to let CM Punk go sauntering off. But the one I picked was actually the promo with CM Punk, John Cena, and Vince McMahon when CM Punk comes out with his contract where he's like saying, I get the ice cream bars. It was the ice cream bars. Promo, and I get to push Vince McMahon. That's one of my things. I get to push you around, and then John Cena comes out. And the thing is, these were all really, really great. The one thing I thought was funny was John Cena attacked CM Punk at the end because CM Punk compares John Cena to the New York Yankees. What I thought was funny is like this is the thing that made him attack CM Punk. Just before that, he had just sort of threatened his wife and father, who were in the front row. And so it's like, oh, you threatened my wife and father. Oh, no, fuck you, man. You're not going to fuck it. You mentioned the New York Yankees. Like, I don't know about America. I know that the Yankees are really popular and hated at the they're a bit like Manchester United over here. But I mean, I don't know if you remember that promo. Which is, all the promos leading up to this were just great. You had CM Punk's pipe bomb a couple of weeks before that, but then you had the contract signing between Cena and Punk, and you had Triple H in the ring as well for that, and just all this was when CM Punk was just during that whole month he was just but everyone was as well. I mean, John Cena was fucking great as well. He works so well with someone like CM Punk, and I think they both kind of bring out the best in each other because they're both they represent polar opposites or these sort of polar opposites of the wrestling community.
And like, what would you say they represent, the polar opposites? Like, what?
Well, I mean, Cena represents the sort of the idealized big muscle man, the one company man, the clean cut, PG face who doesn't have to be that good. He's all like he's all smiles and all that. He's got the merch. He sells the merch. He's good looking. He's got the big build. He just looks the part. Whereas CM Punk is the guy who doesn't look the part. He's mouths off. He's got a bad attitude. And he's about actual, he's like the actual wrestler. He's about the actual substantiveness of it, and he doesn't look the part. He's small, and he doesn't come out and smile to the fans, and
he looks a bit like a short order cook at Waffle House.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like the thing. It's like the old cliche we've seen. It's like this is why you get the kids and the women like him.
It's kind of fucked up. Yeah. He looks like a drug addict.
Yeah, but I'm he does. This is why he's gonna have to quit and retire so young. It's because because he's straight edge. The fucker doesn't take pain medication. My third one. I'm going to go on my third one quickly. Now, this quite frankly is a.
So this is your best.
Wait. This is my third best. Yes, of course. Right. Thanks for paying attention so much so far into it, Napalm. Fucking is this my best? You.
I'm not editing that part out because I want.
No, don't. I want people to hear. I want people to know. I want the people to know what I have to fucking deal with week in and week out with this fucking moon cricket. Anyway,
this is Matt right here, everybody.
Right. No, my third. Matt, shut up. Matt, stop up. My third one. This is going to be a rarity for a top 3 best of anything I pick because it's TNA, but however, even though it's TNA, it's two people who were not TNA originals and were not famous. For being in TNA. It's Ric Flair and Mick Foley, and I think this was before they were having a match that was actually a big sort of it was called 777 or something like that, and it was Mick Foley and Ric Flair in, I think it was a last man standing match or a hardcore match of some description, but the promo is just brilliant because it's Flair and Foley. It's Flair doing what Flair does best, which is just sort of going absolutely mental. And at one point, it's just the best bit is when Mick Foley's got this book out and Ric Flair holds up the book and goes, "This is your book. Father of the Year, Mick Foley, Couch Potato, and he throws the book on the floor, then does a running elbow onto the book. And then both of them get up, and then both of them start simultaneously punching themselves in the face. Not punching each other, they're punching themselves in the face.
Why?
Right, at the same time. And both of them start bleeding, right? like Mick Foley and Ric Flair both punch themselves in the face until they bleed everywhere. And it's the funniest fucking thing and it's just so entertaining.
Sounds amazing.
And you've got to watch it. You can get a clip of that up. Just the punching is just worth it. But it's just, the thing is, like, you just want to see Ric Flair. Ric Flair reminds me of, like, he's a wrestling equivalent of, like, Nicolas Cage. It's like, he's...
That is the best description ever.
All you want to see Nick Cage do is lose his goddamn mind. Is just epically lose his shit, and then he's great. And it's the same with Ric Flair. He's at his best when he's going absolutely fucking crazy ape bonkers. And so I put that in as my third one. But save that'll probably be the last time TNA makes it into a top 3 best of anything we do. But those are my top 3. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be no objections. No, good. Right. So, Calix, would you like to go next?
Actually, I'm curious what Matt's going to say. Go ahead.
You don't have your list, do you?
For the ease of editing, I think it would be better if we end with Matt.
Yeah, Calix, where's your list? Aren't you prepared, like I am?
Do you even have your list, Matt?
Yes, Matt, I do. I'm looking at it.
Do you not have your top 3 promos that we were supposed to do a month ago?
I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just have it over here. Yeah. You sound like that John Lovitz character, the guy who's a compulsive liar, going, yeah.
Oh, Calix, the tables have turned.
Top 3 promos. That's the ticket. Yeah. That's just here. I do.
My first one.
Matt, can you turn your mic down?
Alright. My first promo is a promo Randy Orton did a long while ago when he was, I think it was when he was a Legend Killer. It was, I think it was after a match, and he was basically, talking shit or whatever because he was a heel. And then the crowd started, like, antagonizing him, so he gets pissed off and then runs out to where the crowd is, and then starts yelling at people in the crowd. Funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
This is a kind of theme with Randy Orton, isn't it? It's kind of carried on. It's like him trying to do a promo, and the audience just not letting him because he's boring as shit.
And then he just acts, and then he just throws this massive tantrum and just starts yelling at everyone in the audience. It's like the most hilarious shit I've ever seen. And I'm like, this is why Randy is a good heel, because he genuinely is a fucking prick. And it's funny as shit when he gets mad.
It's kind of annoying. Don't you think it's annoying that they don't let him, he's not allowed to be that?
Yes.
Much. Yeah,
exactly. That's it. That's what I hate about the WWE. They won't let that side of him be a heel. He has to be like this somber, silent, serious heel when that's not his personality.
Look, I always felt that way when I watched Bully Ray or Bubba Ray Dudley. When I watched Bubba Ray Dudley in ECW, and I'm thinking like that's the ultimate wrestling heel, but it would never work in WWE. It's like I'm watching there's a promo Bubba Ray did in ECW where he's pointing at people in the audience going, "We got some faggot down here in a Hawaiian shirt. We got a mom who taught her daughter how to suck dick. We got this." And you're like, God, that's fucking brilliant. It's like, and he goes in there and starts spitting on people in the front. But yeah, I've always felt that with Randy Orton. Like, he's shown signs of when he can be, a good deal. But he's never done it for a sustained long enough period.
All right.
Number 2, Kate.
Okay. My number 2, actually, you know what? It's, my number 2 is by a guy from, I don't know if this counts or not, but this is by, a guy named Conan from, like, WCW.
Oh, yeah, I know Conan.
He was
Isn't
like,
he dead?
No, he's still around. He, like, does, like, a podcast.
I'm thinking of Canyon, sorry. I'm thinking of Chris Canyon. Sorry.
Yeah, I was too. I was like, isn't he in TNA?
Yeah,
and I was like, no, that's Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon is dead.
Yeah, isn't he the gay dead one?
Yeah, he's a gay dead.
Great gimmick, that.
I think he has.
Matt, let Calance talk. It's his go.
All right, so basically Conan was like, he was really good on the mic, but he was not that great in the ring, and he really only shined during the death throes of fucking WCW, because that's when the younger talent actually got a chance to be on screen for more than a second.
You showed me a match with him, right? He was like with another guy.
Didn't he team with the guy who used to play Crush?
He used to team with Rey Mysterio, actually. They were called the Filthy Animals.
Right, yeah, because that fits Rey Mysterio perfectly there.
But was it? I think this was when Rey Mysterio. I think this was when he had the goat horns for no fucking reason.
Did you say Rey Mysterio?
Right, yeah, because Rey Mysterio was like a part of the Filthy Animals. And
Okay, cool. Well, what's your third one?
Our last one, surprisingly, and this isn't the show that I didn't like it, but it's when The Rock was the Corporate Rock. I fucking loved him as the Corporate Rock.
Yeah.
Like, all of his promos were amazing. The reason why he's my top 3, though, and the reason why he's the third and not like, well, I'm gonna do it in reverse order, so this is kind of the first for me. All of the Rocks were just really great. I love his interaction with, like, I don't know if anyone notices this or not, but when The Rock was a heel, he had really great interaction with Vince.
Yeah.
Like, they played off of each other really well. And I miss that because they were never teamed together as like a heel pair. And they had the best interactions for me.
The thing about The Rock is he's one of those guys who, when he was a heel, he acted the same as when he was a face. He never actually, his character was not different. Like, you look at certain characters, like you look at John Cena when he was heel, John Cena, and you look at him now, he's completely different. There was a definite change in his character, and you look at a lot of these. Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan as a heel is nothing like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan now is basically Daniel Bryan, who he is. But when he was like playing that whiny, smug little git who you just wanted to wind up because he was such an annoying little tosser. That you can see the difference there. Same with people like Edge was very different, but you get those people like Rock, like Jericho's another one. Like, he pretty much is the same guy.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, I'd say, would be another one. They pretty much just act the same. Whether they're a heel.
Kurt Angle and TNA.
Yeah, but Kurt Angle in TNA is basically just a crippled alcoholic drug addict, being enabled by his employers.
So fucked up. For a second, I confused Kurt Angle with Samoa Joe when they were coming out.
Yeah, you know what?
Fat legs.
I don't blame him.
Samoa Joe wearing the American flag.
You know what? I don't blame him, because you should see what's happened to Kurt Angle and what's happened to Samoa Joe. It's like...
The thing about Kurt Angle is interesting, is like his contract in TNA is up before they do the Hall of Fame, which means he might be inducted without actually being there. It's in August, I think. Which just sums TNA up in a nutshell. That whole, how fucking useless they are. Like Matt, it's like Matt running a fucking wrestling. If Matt ran, you'd have TNA. Like, give Matt
a better job, because I at least have the sense to be like, you know what, Jim Cornette's not doing anything.
Yeah, but Jim Cornette doesn't want to do anything, and Jim Cornette's not doing anything because no one will employ him. At the moment. He's burnt all his bridges.
And he
hasn't burned a bridge with me.
He gets into fights with everyone.
Yeah, and he did slap Santino Marella 17 times, though, so you got to give Jim Cornette credit for that. Right, okay, Matt. So we've had... Right, good. God help us. Let's see if we can keep this under 15 minutes, Matt.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
Number one.
I'm going to go in reverse order like Halen. So third, because third is my guilty pleasure pick. It's not necessarily a good promo. It makes me laugh. And I changed it, because originally it was going to be Terry Funk.
Just get to the point. What is it? Just what is it?
Let me say. It was going to be Terry Funk's first retirement, forever, because that's fucking hilarious. But then...
Ironically, that's how long it takes for you to get anywhere in the conversation. Hey, Terry Funk, how long is Matt's fucking countdown going to go? Forever!
Right there. But yeah, Instead now it's Batista's off-air promo in Nebraska. Did you guys hear about this?
He had an off-air promo?
Yeah, basically he got on the Titantron and he basically talked to the people of Omaha and was like, I'm so happy to be here because I'm a huge sports fan. I love baseball, especially college baseball, because this is the home of the College Baseball World Series. And
when did this happen?
It happened this week on Raw.
What?
Yes.
I heard about this. Yes, I heard that. Because they were worried. WWE are desperate at this moment to salvage Batista's face persona, and so so off air they had him basically go up there and perform analingus on Nebraska in a promo that was off air.
So this isn't a good promo by any stretch of the imagination.
This is like the ultimate Mick Foley cheap pop.
Yeah,
without the irony.
Yeah,
it is so bad. It is great.
Why are you picking a terrible promo in your top 3 best?
Because it's my guilty pleasure promo.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd like to
it's your guilty pleasure. What, for a week? It's been your guilty
I'd like to ask one thing.
Dude, I've laughed so much because of this.
They're trying to salvage him as a face because of the cross promotion he has with Marvel. Is that correct?
No, they're trying to salvage him as a face because everyone's booing him at the moment because everyone sees him as the guy who's fucked up Daniel Bryan's push.
No, that's why they wanted him as a face originally, right? Because
they wanted that. Yeah, I mean they don't want him to be a heel, but so they're putting him up against people like Del Rio and that's why they're trying to keep him heel. But I don't think Marvel give it shit, to be honest, because I didn't even know he was in a fucking film, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't care.
I do. But that's neither here nor there. So number 2.
Okay, so number 2.
All right.
Okay, number 2 is Jake the Snake, the Innovator. The one where he was going when he was challenging Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship, when that actually fucking meant something. Because I picked this because this terrified me as a child.
Mm-hmm. What specifically?
Well, see, this was at the point when I thought wrestling was real, and Randy Savage was my favorite wrestler, and the person who scared me every time he would go up against Randy was Jake the Snake, because it was like, I told you this guy before, but I cried when fucking Randy got bit by that cobra. I thought he was going to fucking die. I was like, oh my God.
I think Randy Savage cried. During that, I think they all agree. I think that from what I understand, all corroborating stories suggest that the Snake was on there a little bit longer than they had anticipated. Like they thought it was just gonna give him a nip.
See, that's what made me cry. Seeing Randy cry, I was like, oh my God,
Randy's gotta die.
I don't think that could have happened unless it was a fucking accident, because I don't see anyone doing that these days, or even in the Attitude Era, I don't see them doing that, because I think that's one of those things you were like, wow, that's probably because they've got fucking massively long teeth, those things, and they gnaw.
Yeah, that's the fun fact about cobras. They're the only venomous snake all venomous snakes except cobras. They bite once. Cobras will chew on you.
But also I think Jake the Snake's best one, purely because how just near over the line it was after he fought Randy Savage once and he slapped Elizabeth at the end of the match, and then he went back and did a promo and went on about how good it felt to hit that woman, and he can't wait to do it again and stuff like that. It's like he basically sat there, he sat there grizzling and getting a hard on over slapping Elizabeth.
The fucking Innovator one, and yeah, I had to look it up because I always remember that because it's fucking scared me as a child. It's been in my mind ever since.
Anyway. Okay, right. Well, Matt, number 1.
So number 1 is, and this was like at the height during the Attitude Era when I was totally in love with wrestling. Cactus Jack Returns 2000.
Yes, I will fuck it. Finally, Matt, you have picked something that makes sense. It's well placed. It's logical. Well done. Well, all I can say is thank you.
Matt saved up all of his energy.
After nearly a year of talking to you about wrestling, you have finally said something that I cannot find fault with.
See, I'll be honest. It was kind of a toss-up between like when Cactus Jack first came into the WWF and this, because they're both really great. Because like Triple H,
actually, which one specifically is this? Is this where he came back for the Madison Square Garden hardcore match in 2000?
yes.
Or is this where? Oh, that one. Yeah, that, to be honest, that I would put that up. The thing is, this is a great example. This is one of the children watching this will not remember that there was a time when Triple H actually did put other people over before he was just Captain
Triple
Shovel.
H really
Before he was Captain Shovel.
Yeah,
I like
before
that.
he sat there praying to the altar of the shovel, saying, "Who shall I bury next, Master?"
Triple H just sold the shit out of like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and you know what the other great thing? The promo for the Triple H Cactus Jack fight at Madison Square Garden had that great music that sounds like the Omen music. It sounds like the it's like dun 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 dun, and it always ends with JR going, "This is a war, a war, a war, a war." Oh, well, that one, and so yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, because I thought when he did that, I thought he was going to pick The Rock to go and face. I worked out that. Yeah, I thought because he said they need a substitute in the match other than Mankind. Because he was covered in blood, and I thought he was going to pick The Rock. And everyone was going, "No, don't pick The Rock." And he's like, "Yeah, it's Cactus." And the funny thing is, it is just him in a different T-shirt. And this is what I love about wrestling. It's just that it's just the same guy in a different shirt.
Yeah,
and
that's what makes it great. And that's why. And yet
you
it
buy
hurts.
it. You do believe
Yeah,
it. You do sit there and you go. You get that chill.
You get that persona.
You get that.
That's why it really hurts, like how with what Triple H has become today. Because like you look back at that, it's like, oh man, he's like part of the reason you buy the fucking fact that like this guy is like, oh, he just took off one shirt and he has a new one on.
Yeah, and like you look at Triple H now, and it's like, what's happened to you, bro?
Well, the thing is, Triple H now is it's hard you can't really compare it now because he's now in a different role. And so, I mean, how much did Vince? I mean, look at Vince. I mean, how many people did Vince really put over? And I mean, and give you the big sell. With there weren't many, when he was in charge. So I mean, so.
I would say he put over a few people.
I would say this: if Triple H and Daniel Bryan fight at WrestleMania 30, which looks what it's going to be, if Triple H does the right thing and Daniel Bryan wins, then we can I think we can let that go. At that point, we can forgive him for all the thing. But I mean, I think having him beat Brock Lesnar in a street fight was a fucking joke.
See, wrestling's kind of like a movie. Where it's like, the villain has to have some kind of like comeuppance at some point.
The thing is, it's a movie, but it's a movie. It's more like it's different in the sense that it carries on after.
It's like it's like a TV series more so than a movie.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera. It carries. It's like a reality show.
So you can have long stretches where the villain's like, I'm fucking in power and shit, but. He needs to be knocked down every so often.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can say, bugger me, we actually managed that one. Well done, Matt. You, keep trying, and I'll send you a doggy bit. I'll send you a doggy biscuit. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Napalm. This is Richard the Dick Coughlin, the face of the D-bag.
I guess that makes us the mid-card tag team. Then.
Yes, you two are the Usos of this company.
You know what? I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay, right. Bugger. Okay. This is Richard Dick Coughlin saying good night and take care. Bye-bye.
Excellent.